This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, discounted prices, miniaturemarket.com.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Get some peanuts and Cracker Jacks out because today we're going to be playing some baseball. 2 players, mano a mano, and it's going to be in the bottom of the 9th. From Dice Hate Me Games, Greater Than Games, it's a 1 or 2 player game about baseball that has some guessing and bluffing and some speed elements to it, very thematic as well. Let's take a look. I'm going to show you how it's played. I'll see you on the other side. I want to mention the cards in this game, the player cards, come out of what looks like a baseball pack that you would buy as a kid. Also includes 1 stick of gum. That gum is not real gum. It looks like gum, but on the backside it's actually used to show balls and strikes. Really cool idea. In this game, it's the bottom of the 9th, and essentially one team will be the batting team, the home team, and they're just trying to get 1 run in. If so, they win. Otherwise, the other team's just trying to get 3 outs. If that happens, they win. Now the batting team is going to select 6 batters to use in the game. Now there's ways to add more with expansions and such, so you just have to make sure that you only have 1 player per position. And it's cool, nice, really good artwork here. And just to pull in a little closer to see what some of these have, it tells you Casey Petty's right field and Hannah Kate is shortstop. So it just shows you what team they're from and their positions. Now each of these cards on the back side looks like an old baseball card. Tells him what position, whether he bats left or right, a little fun fact, and gives some stats that we'll go over later, some special abilities and a trait. We'll go over some of those later. The pitcher is then going to do the same, but from the 6 cards in the base game, they're going to pull 2 pitchers. Now the pitcher will flip over the side of the pitcher that he's going to start with, and we look at his special ability. His special pitch is a cut fastball, and it's low and inside. So in the fatigue marker, we put low and inside because that's right there. We also get 2 guessing markers and 2 pitching die. The batter will pick one of his batters to be first. He'll put him up near the at-bat marker. This was the back of the stick of gum. With the balls and strike markers, they'll get a batter die. They put somebody on home plate. They have their other meeples, really cool baseball hat looking meeples. We get their 2 guessing pawns, and then the other 5 players that are going to be playing in order go there. So each pitch goes through a sequence. A sequence starts with a stare down where they will hold their hand over here so the player can't see, and they will guess what they are going to do. So let's say we do low and away. The other player would guess, and at the same time we would reveal. So we both revealed. This is the pitchers, this is the batters. Low and away, high and away. The batter's trying to guess where the pitch is going. The pitcher's trying to go where the other batter doesn't think it's going. So here we have some matching and some not. The pitcher always puts in places where it did not match. So low is not matching what he said, so he gets this. Away matches this, so the batter gets this. Sometimes both of them will go to the same player. Then we roll the pitcher's die and resolve. So the pitcher's going to roll this, and he has a special ability. Because the red one's here, he can activate this red ability. If it was the white, he could do this. If it was white and red, he could do that. And if he threw his special ability, which was low and inside, he could do this special ability, which is reroll the control die. We'll go over some of these in a moment. Also, because I threw low and away, and low was one of my fatigues, this arm would get fatigued a little bit. If I had thrown low and inside, that would come down too. So I'm going to roll this. Okay, so I have a ball and a control of 2. This, the red, allows me to add 1 or minus 1 to this. So I can make it a 3 or a 1. So what does all this mean? Well, there's 3 things on this dice. There's balls, there's strikes, and then there's corner, essentially. Now, what happens is, those 3 things, well, the batter can either roll higher or lower than me. So in this case, it was a ball, okay? Ball 2. Now, when the batter rolls his dice, because it's a ball, if it's less than what I rolled, it's a ball. If it's equal to what I rolled, it's a ball. If it's more than what I rolled, it's a strike. Anywhere you see blank areas is strike. Not sure why they left those blank. They should have just written strike there. It would have made it a lot more clear. So here, essentially, he wants to, if he rolls something high, it's a strike. So I would like to use my special ability to make this down to a 1. This means that there's a pretty good chance that this is going to be a strike. Then we go to the batter. So we go to the batter and we roll this die, and it's a 5. He has the white special ability which says re-roll the swing. So we could take this and re-roll it. It's a 2. So I rolled the pitcher rolled a 1, the batter rolled a 2, and because what he rolled is higher what I rolled when I was throwing it out of the strike zone as a ball, it's a strike. So that's strike 1. Let's try one more. So we'd start over the stare down again. So I'm going to throw my best pitch. I'm going to go low and inside, and we would go like this, and then when we're ready, we would reveal. Now we reveal, and the batter guessed exactly that I was doing it. Now first my fatigue would come down. Now by the way, anytime if this fatigue is down at the bottom, I cannot throw either the low or the inside, whichever one's at the bottom, which makes it really easy for him to guess what I'm pitching. So he guessed this, so he's going to get both of these. Now the pitcher will pitch. So he takes this. I have no special abilities, but I have my low and inside. I threw my cut fastball, re-roll the control die up to twice on strike pitches. So if this had been a strike, let's just say it was, I could re-roll this twice if I wanted to because I threw my cut fastball. Now on a strike, if he rolls higher than me, it's contact, which means, it's C right there, contact, and that means there's going to be something that happens. Here is a foul ball, which essentially is a strike, but you can't strike out that way, and if it's lower, then basically it's a strike. So I'm actually happy with my 5, so I don't need to use this special ability, so we have a strike 5. Now because he gets both of these, we look at this. This tells me star or any 2. So I could use the white or the red up to 2 times each, or 1 and 1, or I could use the star, which essentially the star is +2 swing for strike in the pitch count. So essentially I did throw a strike, and this player could get a +2 if he wanted to. Now I rolled a strike 5 if you remember, and I need something higher than that to be able to get some contact. So I need to roll a 6. So in this case, what should I use here? Let's just add a +2. So the highest you can have is +6, we'll roll it. And it's a 1. Now, that would have essentially have been a strike because lower than that on a strike is a strike. So on a contact, you have to get it exactly right. Otherwise, on a corner, exactly right, or it's a strike. So in this case, it was a strike. But let's just say he rolled a 4. And because of his special ability, he got +2. So this really became a 6. Now his 6 is greater than my 5 on a strike. And on this we see, well, if it's a strike and he rolls better, it's contact. Anytime there's a contact, we have some running to do. So at this point, both players would grab their die, they'd get ready, and they'd start rolling at the same time. The first player to get a 5 or a 6 wins this little part of the run. If it's the pitcher and he rolls a 5 or 6 before him, he yells out. And if it's the batter, he yells safe. So they would go, and they would run, ooh, out, and he would be immediately out. But of course that doesn't happen. Sometimes they're rolling out. That would have been out. Or maybe on another time they're rolling. Oh, and if it was a immediate tie, safe and out, tie goes to the runner. So if he's safe, he goes to first base. And if he was out, you would grab one out there and he would come off. He would have come off from there. Now let's say he was safe. At the end of that, you count up how many empty bases there are. 1, 2. I can move my fatigue up 2. I can move this one up 2. Or I can move it up 1 and 1. It gives me a little bit more there. Now, anytime after the second batter, let's say my fatigue's really low, I can take out my initial pitcher and bring in the second pitcher that I had brought in. But they start their fatigue. This guy is also low and inside at 1. That's just how the pitcher starts. So you have to think about when to bring in your reliever as well. So this batter is now on base. He's gone. This guy is now up, and everybody sort of slides down. And this just continues, and we start all over again. And this continues until somebody either scores and the home team wins, or 3 outs and the visiting team wins, the pitcher's team. Now there is a solo game. I'm not going to go into detail about it, but essentially you're trying to win at least 4 of the 6 games. You'll play 6 mini games, and you're trying to get a certain amount of points and win at least 4 games. Essentially, each game you bring out one of these situation cards, and it tells you, like in this case, the bases are loaded, it's the 9th inning, there's 2 outs, scores 1-0, and it tells you what to do. You randomly select 2 batters. First batter's in a slump and can never re-roll. You may pinch hit with a randomly chosen third batter, and it tells you what the goals in this. So each time you play one of these 6 games, you got to win 4 out of 6. You put one of these cards out there. There's also a special effect that will come into play for this game. For example, pitcher may re-roll pitch die once on a B5 or B6. And then as it goes on, you shuffle all those different effect cards and things together. And then what comes out is when a new card comes out, this is basically high and inside, as you're guessing. And if it's one of these other cards that comes out, the stare down, you go here, you fatigue 2 and draw again. Fatiguing, you add or subtract. Fatiguing and relieving, you can add and subtract different cards from here. And there's also different ways that the pitcher's mitigation works differently from the base game. Not going to go into details, but you try to win 4 out of 6 with all these different scenarios. 9th inning, 1 out. 9th inning, no outs, 1-0. There's one of these that actually starts in the 8th inning, I believe, but different games to play solo. There's also a ton of variants to the base, normal 2-player game that you can play. You can do a base place variant where instead of rushing to roll a dice as fast as you can just roll it 1 time each, and the first one that gets it, gets it. Higher number wins if they're both 5 or 6. There's, you can play different extra innings. You can draft players. You can play a longer game. There's also these sort of coaches that you can put in the game that you can draft, and they give certain teams special abilities for the thing and things like that. So there's a lot of extra stuff you can add in as well. Well, I must say I am a little biased here because I do love baseball. I grew up with it. I still love it. And, and I loved the Baseball Highlights 2045 that came out this year. And Bottom of the Ninth, I like very much as well. What do I like about it? It's very thematic. Everything from those packages I showed you that the cards came in, the gum you flip over to the balls and strikes, this stare down that really happens between the batter and the pitcher, and the whole bluffing, because it really is a lot of times they're guessing what the pitcher's going to throw them and where they're going to throw in and key in on that. And based upon how well you guess, you're going to benefit or be not benefit by that as well. So I like that aspect, very thematic. And then based on how well you guess, you get to change and manipulate your dice, which I like too. And then it all goes into one pitch, ball or strike, and it's quick. It's 15 minutes or less. It's a fun little game. By far and away, the best part of the game is when a contact happens and you go, roll the dice, safe, out, and people are running. That is the best part of the game. It's so exciting. It sounds silly and like it's not much fun, but when you sit down and you play it, that part is really fun. So overall, if you like guessing and sort of bluffing and trying to figure out what someone else is going to do, and you like dice manipulation, and you like speed, you're going to love the game. If you don't like any of those things, this isn't going to be the game for you. If you like a couple of or one of those things, but you really like the theme, maybe you want to check this one out. So those are the elements that are involved. I liked it quite a bit. And because I love baseball so much, and because it's something I can share with my dad and play with him really quickly, this is definitely one I'm going to keep in my collection. And it looks like they're also making some expansions as well. So for that, I'm going to be keeping this in my collection. We're going to do a saxophone serenade right here for Bottom of the Ninth.
This video was sponsored by Miniature Market's Review Corner. The Review Corner features podcasts, video, and written game reviews by gamers for gamers. Miniature Market, the online gaming superstore. Thousands of board games, discounted prices. Check them out at miniaturemarket.com.